welcome to another Friday fishing forecast and happy 4th of July. It looks like this extended weekend is going to be a beautiful weekend, and there's a lot going on. The weather, of course, we're going to have typical afternoon thunderstorms or thunder showers, either one. So you want to be on the lookout for that. We were offshore last Saturday, and I could see the storms building offshore. And I told the guys on the boat, I said, I did not want to get caught in this. So let's go ahead and head back towards the mouth because we were about 23 miles out. And I didn't want to go any farther out because that's where the storms were. And sure enough, we got back in comfortable. It was flat. But I heard a lot of reports from a lot of people coming in from way offshore, 40, 50, 60 miles, that they got to the 20-mile mark and it got extremely rough. And I noticed that in the afternoon when I was going to a get-together, that the wind was blowing pretty good, and I thought to myself, man, I probably made the right decision on getting back early and taking care of that and making sure that my passengers were safe. And something happened over this last weekend also where a boat was struck by lightning. And there's not much you can do when Mother Nature is deciding to do what she wants to do. And they caught a glimpse of it on film where the lightning bolt hit the boat. And it was a Stamus. It was a 39-2 Stamus. And they were 100 miles offshore. And it cut out all the electrical. Shut down everything. They had no form of communication, nothing. So they had all the proper safety equipment on the boat. They got the EPIRB out, sent out an emergency signal. And sure enough, the Coast Guard picked it up. And they came out there and picked them up in the helo. So I'm glad everybody was safe. I'm glad nobody was hurt. And the way the lightning traveled through the boat, I guess from what I heard just today, that Stamus makes the boats to where if something like that does happen, it goes through the hull and out the back. And that's exactly what happened with this boat. So it's actually keeps you safe. And where it blew the hull out of the boat is actually above the water line, so the boat didn't sink or anything else like that. So I'm waiting to see pictures of that. I've just heard about it, so I don't want to report much more on that. So anyway, like I said, this weekend looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Just look out for the storms. If you get a chance to go out on the water, do it. I see that gas prices are going down just a little bit, which is nice, but they need to go down a lot more. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody for all of the support. It just, everything continues to grow, and all the people that have contacted me about doing consulting trips, thank you very much for that. I will be in touch with you. It's going to be a long process because I think there's over 50 people on the list. So we'll start contacting people to set up times to go out and fish and do a consultation on your boat. And you can either choose inshore, offshore, flats if you want to. It's up to you what you want to do. We can go ahead and work any area that you want to work, pretty much. So thank you for all those emails. I appreciate it. We are going to be taking a golden ticket winner here relatively pretty soon. Get him out on the boat. And we're coming up on 18,000 subscribers. If you have not subscribed to our website, you better do so before we hit that 18,000, because we will be picking a person to go fishing with Chad and I when we hit 18,000 subscribers. So subscribe to the website and then also subscribe to the YouTube channel to help us get to that 18,000, and each 1,000 after that we're going to pick a winner to go fishing with us. So again, we appreciate the support in that aspect. So let's go ahead and get into the tides and slooners for this weekend and talk about what we have in store. On Saturday, we have a low tide at 7:48 a.m. at a 1.27 foot. Then we have a high tide at 3:02 p.m. at a 2.47 foot. Then we have a low tide at 11:13 p.m. at a negative 0.10. On Sunday, we have a high tide at 6:07 a.m. at a 1.37 foot. Then we have a low tide at 9:07 a.m. at a 1.26 foot. Then we have a high tide at 3:45 p.m. at a 2.32 foot. Then we have another low tide at 11:49 p.m. at a negative 0.01. On Monday, we have a high tide at 6:39 a.m. at a 1.45 foot. Then we have a low tide at 10:37 a.m. at a 1.22 foot. Then we have a high tide at 4:35 p.m. at a 2.12 foot. So as you notice on those tides, we have a very slow incoming tide, or very slow outgoing tide in the morning, and then in the afternoon we have that high tide, and then it screams out late in the afternoon. Those are those hill tides that are starting during the summer. So if you're looking for tarpon and things like that, definitely fish that hill tide. If you're looking for grouper and snapper, fish those slower tides, and once a tide picks up, then you can go fish for other fish. That's the cool thing about fishing inside the bay, is that there's so many different things that you can do. You can judge it on what the tide is doing. So if the tide is really slow, as most know, when the tide is not moving, the inshore fish like snook, reds, trout, things like that, they don't like to eat. But the snapper and grouper love to eat on those slow tides inside the bay. Offshore, not so much. Different story. But inside the bay, they love to eat on those slower tides or those slack tides, the grouper and snapper. Now let's go ahead and talk about the salooner periods for this weekend. On Saturday, we have a minor feeding time from 9:03 a.m. to 10:03 a.m. Then we have a major feeding time from 3:31 p.m. to 5:31 p.m. On Sunday, we have a minor feeding time from 9:59 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. Then we have a major feeding time from 4:16 p.m. to 6:16 p.m. Then on Monday, we have a minor feeding time from 10:54 a.m. to 11:54 a.m. Then we have a major feeding time from 4:59 p.m. to 6:59 p.m. So there you have it with the salooners and tides. Like I said, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. As you can see behind me, it's very calm right now. So I think the whole weekend's supposed to be like that, so we won't have to battle the winds. The only winds most likely have to battle are the sea breeze winds, which actually feel really good this time of year, because when it's this calm, it's typically very hot. And luckily I've got a lot of shade right now going on with the clouds. Anyway, for all the people that send in the pictures every week, thank you so much for doing that for the top catches of the week. We got some really good ones this week. Let's go ahead and get into the top catches. In this first picture, this is Emma Bunce fishing with Captain John Blanker. She caught her first shark ever on a slacker jig near Egmont Key. In this next picture, Jeff Inman caught this nice mess of Spanish mackerel inside the bay. He also hooked 4 tarpon. Way to go, Jeff. In this last pic, one of our viewers, Mark Bell, took his buddy's son Donovan offshore to see if they could get him on his first American red snapper. Well, I would say that they succeeded. Congrats, Donovan, on that beautiful red snapper. All right, folks. Again, there's the Friday fishing forecast. A couple things that I do want to talk about is we have our first, going to be our first fishing meeting. We had a get-together before for the Finn's Fishing Club, hosted by Captain Lori Hall, and our first official meeting is July 5th, Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, at 7 p.m. at Finn's Dockside in Apollo Beach. Now, this is going to be a different type of fishing club. I'm involved in the back end of things with the fishing club, and we're going to have a speaker once every 2 to 3 months, not every month. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of hands-on stuff. We're going to do kind of like round tables, where we have tables set up to where you can go to each table and learn how to do knots. You can learn different types of gear to use for different types of fish, cast netting, all kinds of stuff. So we're going to be very hands-on this actual this fishing club. So if you're in our area, Riverview, Ruskin, Apollo Beach, Brandon, if you're interested in joining this fishing club, I highly recommend it. You can go to the Facebook page. I'll have a link to where you can hit that and join, and it's $75 for a year, and that includes your drink and all the food for all the appetizers that we'll have there, and then all kinds of other stuff is involved. We're going to have tournaments and all kinds of things, so I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Also, my sunglasses. I get a lot of questions about my sunglasses. Waterlands is actually having a sale over the 4th of July weekend. It started on Wednesday, and you get 20% off using the code FREEDOM, all capital letters, and you'll get 20% off the entire site. So I'm wearing their glass lenses, and this is the Milliken style, and I got to tell you, I love these things. I've beat these things up, and I beat them up for a long time, and I absolutely love them. So if you're looking for a new pair of sunglasses, I highly recommend them. I've been wearing them for a long time, and I've used them for a long time, so they definitely work for me. And then I talked about the subscriber winner. So if you haven't subscribed to the website, please do so. We don't spam you with email. The only time we send you emails is when we have an event or if we're having a sale. And you're the first ones to hear. And sometimes we do something special just for our subscribers to our website. So if you haven't done that, please do it. You can go to TampaBayFishingChannel.com, scroll down to the bottom, and subscribe right there. Again, we won't spam you with email. With all that being said, I want to say thanks again for all of the support. We really appreciate it. Fish more, catch more. Happy 4th of July, and we'll see you on the flip side.